Alright, says we are live. Just waiting on players to get all set up here. Ride My Avatar is here. Simba said he had to restart his PC. So waiting on him. And then we just need our judge. So I'm going to go ahead and share the stream around. Just in case anyone might have forgotten. Let's see. If there are any issues, please let me know. Just throw it in chat there and I'll see it. Boom. There we go. Alright, let's see what is happening here. Alright, looks like the judge has joined. Alright. Mute myself there. Make sure, yep, they are muted so you can't hear them, because, man, when they get to talking, they get just crazy in there, so best to keep them muted. I hear someone's Discord going off. Alright, seems like we're still waiting on Simba. Guess he was having some PC issues this morning. Alright, let's take a look, see what we got going on here. So remember, this is the Roost event. So the Roost is the field that is in play in the middle field here, field 2, and it must remain in that position throughout the entire game. When a judge card is revealed, if the tiebreaker is odd, discard one card from your hand, then draw one. Nice little consistency piece there. And then if it's even, trigger the debut effects of your familiars in this field. So a lot of players, when they're going into this event, when they were looking at what familiars they wanted to run, typically you'd want to run something with a debut, right? Something that has a really ton of value for triggering its debut effect multiple times. And so looking over here at Ride My Avatars, he's got Rapture here, which has the debut. You may KO one or less cost ally in this field. So being able to debut this, eat something, and then potentially debut it again to eat a second thing, potentially, eating two. I did. I'm in just viewer mode now. I'm good, and we got the stream going, so yeah. He is currently restarting his PC, last I saw. So yeah, potentially Rapture can debut like a potential of like 8 times in a 4-round game, which would be crazy. Granted, the opponent probably doesn't want to put a lot of one-cost allies in the Roost when going up against the Rapture, just knowing that that potential is there. So it could be pretty dangerous, but also pretty great for Ride My Avatar, because typically the opponent wants to put one of their own familiars with a debut effect there, and depending on what that familiar is, they might want to drop something with Guardian, like a Croshin or a Terrachik, right? And those are one-cost allies, and the Rapture can just keep those guys cleared off the board, keeping their opponent's familiar unprotected. And because we are talking about ferocity here with the Rapture, that gives, openings for something like a momentum shift to come down and deal with the opponent's familiar. So Rapture being able to take out those Guardians very nicely is really, really powerful in this matchup, I would say. That also depends on what the opponent is playing here, what Simba has in store for us. And then the ongoing, when an ally is KO'd in this field, Rapture gets +1 power. So potentially, a ton of power could be gained off this debut effect if the opponent doesn't play around it. And then for the secondary, we got the boy, the Kindolf here, my favorite familiar. Just a great all-arounder, great consistency piece for Might. Ongoing, when Kindolf is the target of a Tamer card, it gains +1 power, and you draw a card. So a single strength training puts it on par with the Chrism, as well as get you a draw. And the additional power is solid, but really, I mean, it could have just been draw a card, and I would have been a-okay with it. This is also a great counter to something like special attack, right? Gives -1 power, but then Kindolf's ongoing will trigger, and he'll gain the plus power back, so he just stays the same, and you draw a card. So sometimes opponents forget that his ongoing will also trigger when opponents target him with Tamer cards. All right, and then let's look over here. It looks like Simba has joined us. So we have another Ferocity. And we have the debut. If you're winning this field, Infernander gains +1 power. Being able to trigger this multiple times is great. So similar to the Rapture, if the Rapture is eating something, he's gaining that 1 power. Infernander, though, you just have to be winning the field to get that +1 power. Now, it is only a 4 power creature at the beginning, so he might have to double up his familiars early on if he's going second and he's deploying second. Unless he deploys first, and then he can throw his secondary familiar anywhere else. So being able to get that plus power is really crucial. And then ongoing, when you discard any number of cards from your hand, you may give a creature in this field -1 power. If any were skill cards, give -2 power instead. We gotta talk about the Roost, how you're triggering debut effects, but the alternative is you discard a card to draw a card. So Infernander, no matter what is revealed off that Judge's deck, is going to get value in this matchup. The Roost is essentially made for Infernander, and really, really powerful. So glad to see it being used here. And then the secondary familiar that we see is Allusion. Honestly, I really like Allusion in this particular tournament because debut, give an opposing creature in this field -1 power, and you may move a friendly ally in this field. So you can move your familiars out of the field if you need it to. Really great if one of the side fields is the Crag, right? So 2 or less cost ally cards cannot be played to that field. But you play up to the middle field, and then Allusion just scoots them right on over into that Crag. So that's really nice. And then being able to trigger that -1 power multiple times every round is, of course, fabulous. And then the special rule, you may ignore the unique rule here. So pretty great card with the Roost, I would say here. And it also is Tactics. So Tactics has a good amount of 1-cost allies, so he will definitely need to be careful where he puts those when dealing with that Rapture. All right, looks like both players are, it looks like sideboarding and hopefully resolving mulligans, all that fun stuff. All right. Alright, so that power differential here, we see 7 power versus 9 power. So Simba will be first player here. And that's going to be pretty important for that Infernander. So what do we think is going to happen in this matchup here? Who do we think is going to take it? I would say Simba is definitely maybe the not preferred, but has a higher chance. He is the previous champion of our last tournament, so he's got a lot more experience, I would say, playing than Ride My Avatar does. But that's not to say Ride My Avatar is not in a good position as well. He is playing a very powerful combo there. I don't think either combo has a more distinct advantage in this matchup. It also kind of depends on where we see the fields, what fields get revealed. Simba has just that tiny leg up being able to deploy the Infernander first, because he'll have the initiative token here. So it's like the only leg up I would say that there is in this matchup currently. And it is best 2 out of 3. So just because one has a bad game or one has a great game, like an initial hand or something like that, it doesn't mean anything. Both are keeping their hands. We do see a Crag there. Both running the ranch. And then just the flower field meadow there. So just a blank 4 VP field on Simba's side. Curious to see what gets dropped here. I think if I was Kyle, I would actually get rid of the Crag, just because my opponent has that move on the Illusion there. Crag could definitely mess Kyle up potentially. Alright, and then we'll see which field Simba is going to put in reserve here. He probably would want to put the ranch in reserve because he's dealing with Might. If Might is going to score a field, they typically score it by a landfall. And like I said, players never listen to anything I say. Just because that is what I think doesn't mean the players will ever, not once, have the same thought process as me. But we shall see. We shall see if my predictions come true. Will Might win the ranch by a landslide? Will the Illusion be able to control the Crag and keep throwing in allies super easily? And let's see what we got for supports here. So Simba should support first. Or resource, I say. Hopefully he has a support. It's always a rough time if you don't see that support, at least in the first round. When you have a mulligan available. Alright, we do see a momentum shift here, giving that familiar block. So curious. I don't know if I would have done that Fury Potion here. Not too bad. With the Rapture, you can get some good value there with that Rapture combo. But the momentum shift, when you're going up against Might, you know that they've got all that plus power. You see the Kindolf in play. Momentum shift, dealing with a Kindolf is always super good. So resourcing it here for the support is kind of scary, but it also does counter the opponent's momentum shift as well. I just don't know if you need a ton of block though going against Ferocity Might, because I mean the only thing you really got to worry about is the momentum shift, right? Nothing else. It's not like it's Tactics that has a lot of different things that you really need that block for. We do see the Infernander go to the middle field first. Question is, do we see the Illusion go hit that Kindolf, or do we see it go somewhere else? Yep. I think that's okay. I think I would have played it to the Crag, though. Yeah. See, I would have gone for the Crag because if Crag gets revealed, neither player can put anything in there. So that's it's kind of amusing. It's gonna be very funny if that happens. Oh, it's a your call. Okay. They got lucky. So let's see where Simba puts that. It is an even. So even trigger the debut effects of your familiars in this field. Unfortunately, neither is going to get any value because Infernander's not winning by himself. They're both 5 and 5. Now, if he had put the illusion there, then yes, he would have been able to trigger both of them again, which would have been pretty solid. Because he could trigger the illusion to give another minus to the Kindolf, so the Kindolf would have been at -2, and the Infernander would have gained another plus power. But that is putting all your eggs in one basket. If the field 2 had been turned off this round, that would have been really, really rough. Okay, he's gonna put the ranch. That's what he's choosing. So choosing not to do the Crag is very, very interesting. Like, what does he have available? Because there's nothing he can play there off of only 2 resources. I guess he could use his inspiration if he wanted to. Alright. Going for an Alistair's Guide here. So it looks like he's going to play it slow and just keeping his opponent from maybe getting a big lead this round, knowing his opponent can't play there either, in that basically only 4 VP will be scored this round. So he's going to grab 2 cards off of this Alistair's Guide. I'm almost surprised I didn't see an Alistair's Guide supported instead of the Momentum Shift. With the Crag being used, knowing it's in play, Alistair's Guide pretty good for that. But as I said, things never make sense for me. Alright, kicking it back over to Ride My Avatar. Let's see what he's got in store for us. Alright, classic play there. Strength training on the Kindolf, so he'll get +3 off the strength training, and then an additional +1 for the Kindolf, and a draw. Definitely my favorite play. Whoa. That is way too much. I don't know if our judge is here. That is way too much power, though. Alright, so he's now winning that field too. He's on a laptop. That's interesting. Very, very interesting. Playing on a laptop there with a touchpad mouse. It's a bold move, Cotton. Alright, so should be kicking it back over to Simba. He played a lucky hat, so just kind of waiting out to see what their opponent's doing. Wonder what he's prepping for. I could see, let's see, what could we see? A Skyer here to hit that Kindolf could be pretty powerful. Go ahead and get an early lead there with winning the Roost potentially. What do we got here? Alright, we got a 2-coster. Man, he's really building that anticipation here. Oh, he's got a warder. Debut, choose a creature in this field. For the rest of the round, they have no debut or ongoing effects. So turning off the illusion here, so no debut effect there. And then KO, give a friendly creature. You're just getting clarification that special rule there is not an ongoing. It's not an ongoing, so the special rule for illusion is still in effect. And then KO, give a friendly creature in the field warder was in +2. So not something you would necessarily want to intentionally KO, because you're gonna like -3 power. But it is nice to have that, a little bit of a, you know, addition here. I guess if you use the Fury potion, it would end up being technically the same, right? If it was used on the Rapture. So +2 for itself, +2 for the Fury potion, and then +1 for the Rapture ongoing. It would still equal out to 5 power. But then that's putting 5 power just on the Rapture instead of like having it on multiple bodies. Ooh, well, that's pretty good. Auto here, KO an opposing ally played this round. If they were a wild, gain 1 VP. It is in fact a wild. So he will gain a VP. So warder gets that +2, and then the ongoing from the Rapture for an additional +1. So takes the warder off, only a like 2 power swing minus off that field, but he does get a VP. So and then if there is a momentum shift somewhere in Simba's hand, then that, you know, could set up for a good play later. Alright, back over to ride my avatar here. Probably. Well, he could. Oh, wow. Strength training again. Another +3. Oof. That is a prime target for a momentum shift here soon. Honestly, I think if I was Kyle, I'd probably flip my inspiration and move my Rapture over to field 1. Because there's nothing that Simba's going to be able to do to counter that. 7 power in that field. Not that I can think of, at least. Not with one resource. Let's see. Yeah, I can't think of anything. And unless he's got a lucky hat, like I was saying, like there's some 2-costers that could definitely get him out of this bind. Skyer, momentum shift. Yeah, he can't even compete with that Kindolf. He can't even flip his own inspiration move his illusion over because it's just not enough. I'm curious to see if Kyle sees the Rapture play with the inspiration. Yeah, Simba's definitely backed into a corner here. This is a strong start for Kyle. Or my avatar. Kyle is his real name there. For anyone curious. Yeah, 2 strength trainings right off the bat. That's pretty solid. That order didn't really get a ton of value. Oh, he's got a Fury Potion on the Otter. Okay. Interesting. Maybe he's going to use the Inspiration then? That would only match the Kindolf, though. Alright, alright. Oh, he's reaching for the token. Oh, I don't think he's going to see the Inspiration play. Nope. He's going to let it go. He's gonna... So Simba's got wide open rain here. He can move his auto with the Inspiration and go win field 1. Or he could tie field 2 and no one gains any. I mean, either play is fine. I don't know what he's waiting on here. Use that Inspiration now while the getting's good. There it is. Whoa. Oh, okay. That's fine. it scores the field either way, but I thought he was going to move it to the middle field there for a second. I was like, whoa, that's not enough. My question is, why did he Fury Potion the auto then? So they're going to split fields 4 and 4. And then so give an ally, not opposing, that would be crazy. Give an ally +5 power after scoring their field, KO them, and discard a random card from your hand, then draw a card. So what I thought he would have done was move the auto, and after scoring the field, it would have been KO'd, right? And then you would trigger the rest of the Fury Potion, and discard a random card from your hand, then draw a card, which would have triggered the Infernander here, the on-go, before scoring field 2. So it would have bumped the Kindolf down a little bit, which mainly is just for future turns. And it would have got it out of the Rapture's field. So now he's dying in the Rapture's field, so giving the Rapture more power. Yeah, he definitely should have moved the auto to field 1 to win field 1 instead. He would have just gained way more value. He's basically lost out on giving the Kindolf -1 and lost out on... and gained +1 power for the Rapture, so... I always say this, but hopefully they come back at the end and rewatch these. Yeah, Randy says tying field 2 might be better, as then the Infernander would lower the Kindolf some. Yeah. Kyle doesn't understand. Learning how the hidden area works here. Yeah, the hidden areas there are yeah, they're a little interesting. If you don't understand how they work, because he thought he couldn't select the card to discard randomly. But yeah, when you click and drag out of there, it grabs a random one. So he was thinking the opponent could, in theory, stack all the cards, so that way, uh, it's a guaranteed which one gets pulled out. But that's not how the hidden areas work, thankfully. All right. So still a pretty close game here. No, no allies. That's crazy. No allies in play here. I say that, but like I have that happen a lot. Oh, momentum shift here. Okay. Honestly, momentum shift on that side makes a lot more sense. And we got a face down from Simba here. Yeah, protecting yourself against momentum shift when both your creatures are at +4 power. Absolutely. Kindolf in the middle is a little odd to me. Just because you want your Rapture there, right? Just to be able to trigger them. But I mean, there's no ally there currently, so I guess it's not that big a deal. You encountering the Rapture or the Infernander play. There we go. Seeing someone control field one when you can't play any allies there is pretty pretty important. Okay, there we go. I like that better. Now, Illusion, I feel like really should go to the middle here. Yeah. I mean, it's not the worst idea, but potentially being able to hit it twice. I mean, is that really any different? He says it's a terrible play playing it to field 2, but there's only a 1 power difference between those two familiars. And if you can hit Kindolf twice, then you're in a much better position. All right. Field 3. All right. Even again here. So, yep. See? Even. Trigger the debut effects. Could have triggered that Illusion. Hit that Kindolf twice now. These guys. These guys in their plays. Ooh, and Simba has no inspiration left, so Kyle could once again use his inspiration to go win field 1. We'll see if he does. All right, let's see. Looks like he's using a 1. Yeah, using that momentum shift early. Probably a good idea here. Enchanted drink, he called it. Alright, so discard the top 3 cards of opponent's deck. For each ally card discarded, +1 power for each support. Ooh, not the best. 1 power, no VP. But at least if you use it on the Kindle, it's an additional power. Yeah. And he draws a card. So at least he got the 1 ally hit there. And yeah, that momentum shift there to give that block to the Kindle, probably pretty important right now. Sitting at that big old 6 power. Okay, kicking it over to Simba. Let's see what we got here. Let's see. We know that he has the Lunos in his hand because the Balance Whistle is what was discarded earlier instead of the Lunos after the debate of how Tabletopia works. It's big. It's a big old 11 power versus a 6 of the Infernander or the poor little 3 of the Illusion. It's about to be at max here soon. Even with, like, Ride My Avatar being on the offensive here, like, the fact that it's only a 1-point difference is still pretty good. But it definitely could swing really, really big this round. If Rapture moves over to field 1, so I think Simba should probably just go in and go all out on protecting field 1 to at least split fields again. Because right now Rapture just decimates it. Yep. There we go. Perfect. Yep. Do that now while you can to shore up the... Looks like he's going to give it +2 power. Curious to see, does he draw? No, he's got 5 cards in hand. It's pretty good. Gonna give it... Yeah, give it block. Keep it protected. That's fair. And then momentum shift to give Infernander block. I think that was the best play. Just knowing that he had the Lunos available. So keep splitting fields until you can make a big play. So even being on the back foot, I think Simba's doing a pretty good job here. Like, those familiars over there are super scary. So what does Kyle do? I think Kyle just... He has to keep kind of chugging along here. There's no winning field 1 this round. Don't burn your inspiration on it. Both those creatures over there are blocked up, so he couldn't even momentum shift the Infernander if he wanted to. So I feel like just play something to get set up for a later round. It's not active. Yeah, just getting clarification on that. Kyle was thinking maybe he could get at least the 1 VP for field 3, but it does specifically say that effect only applies while it's active. So, because it is turned off. I was going for a Sparrow here. You know, that's fair. To get rid of that momentum shift. Okay, so choose an opposing support resource and turn it face down. And it gives him a little bit more power there for future turns. Debating KOing the Sparrow here. He gained +2 from the Fury Potion and then +1 from the Rapture itself. Oh, he's choosing to go -1. Hey, he's going to -1 total. But it allows him to, like, redeploy, right? Move his Rapture around. Oh, he's going to use the... Interesting. Fury Potion to give the Kindolf the bonus power. Let's see. Where are we at? 8, 12? What? Oh, okay. Yeah, so instead of splitting fields, he's just going to win field 1 outright. And then, yeah. Honestly, that's a pretty valid play. Okay, and then we're debating this again. There we go. Yeah, so deny the field split basically here is a pretty valid play here. Hand sizes are both really good still, both at 8 going into round 3. Simba did play that Seek. He Seek 2 earlier. And then all the Kindolf here. Oh, there we go. We see the Sylph Amulet finally from Ride My Avatar here. You may move a friendly creature to an adjacent field. This is really good for that Kindolf there because he keeps going mid with Kindolf. So now if field 2 does get turned off, he can just slide it left or right. Because that's a big swing and 13 power wherever you want to put it. But Simba does have initiative this round. And if he counters that Kindolf with a momentum shift right now, going to be absolutely brutal. Let's see. Randy says if Simba has Shaper Magic, though, he could do something really funny since he has initiative. Yeah, Shaper Magic as well. You gotta be careful, though. You don't want to hit your Lunos with that Shaper Magic. Switching it up here. Alright. What is... Okay. So he's beating the Lunos out by a little bit. So then Kai or Simba, I think you go Illusion to Crag here. Hit the Rapture, and you were winning that field by a little bit more. Yeah. The worst part though is the unfortunately you can't momentum shift the Kindolf anymore. Ooh. Moving an ally in this situation, I don't think you move Lunos out of that field. Lunos is the only reason you're winning that field. I think you leave Lunos there. Your opponent's familiars are too big. Like you don't need to be spreading your stuff too thin in this situation. I think you need to be turtling a little bit. Yeah, debating moving the Lunos, but like it really doesn't matter where the Lunos goes. The Kindolf just trumps it. Literally, Lunos could go to Infernander's field, and Kindolf shows up and ties it. Alright, choosing not to. Yeah, I think that's the correct call here. Yeah. Kindolf to middle. Shaper Magic, pretty powerful. You do reset your Infernander, which is a bummer. But I think it's worth it. Alright, where are we going? Or not going, rather. Field 2. There we go. And it is odd. So, discard one card from your hand, then draw one. Unfortunately, Infernander will not be triggering its ongoing. I mean, technically it does, but there's nothing to actually hit over there. And yeah, field 2 is turned off. So yeah, Kindolf being able to just slide over with the Sylph Amulet is really good right now. And that's what I was saying earlier, that even if field 2 gets turned off, your Kindolf can just go wherever it needs to. We see the Stillfunk get discarded from Simba, and then the Rapture ally from Ride My Avatar. Which would have been funny if he KO'd the Infernander over there with the Rapture. So yeah, KO all wild creatures in this field. That would have been a pretty big swing in power. Alright, let's see what Simba does. Like, this is his only chance to deal with that Kindolf right now. So, definitely he needs to act now while there's a chance. The Infernander loss is a sacrifice I'm willing to make. Yeah, there's no reset spell because there's no special. Oh, he's paying 1. Let's see if it's happening. Oh, he's got the snail here. Okay, so Vortnail coming down. Play 1 mirror image token. So, yeah. So Vortnail in center. I'm kind of surprised he didn't play on both to field 3, but... Oh, he's got speed, though. Oh, Judge's Decree. Oh, my gosh. Powerful. Oh, so yeah. If you have initiative, give it to an opponent. Choose a field. Play a random card from your hand to that field, then discard a random card from your hand in the Tamer phase. Powerful. Powerful round 3 card here. Choosing field 2 here. Set, what, 5 cards in hand here? So, huge. Absolutely huge. Because, yeah, Kyle was set up. Like, Self Amulet and Momentum Shift there in support. Move the Kindolf over, get block. So, playing a Gel Ice here. And then discarding... Ooh, discarding the Momentum Shift. Ooh, that hurts. That is rough. So yeah, resolve Judge's Decree. So play a random card, then discard a random card. So he was curious if the Gel Ice debut would trigger to take a random card first, because then that could potentially be one that got discarded. So yeah, take a random card from your opponent. When your opponent has a low hand size, Gel Ice is so strong. But Ride My Avatar, he has 7 cards in hand, so it's not a huge impact. And he's also going to have initiative, so he's going to draw up. Alright, unfortunately we can't see what he takes. Discard the top 3 card of each opponent's deck. Discard the top card of each opponent's deck. If they any or 3 or more costs, gain 1 VP. I don't think I've ever seen this KO effect. Oh, it was an Amptar. Amptar was the card taken. Oof. That is a huge... That is a 9 VP swing here. So, yeah. Yeah, he's going to win that field 3 now. By more than 4. Big. Big, big, big. Let's see. Do we see a back-to-back Judge's Decree? I guess it depends on what happens here. Look at that field, though. That field just really exploded this round. Yeah, he played the Vortnail with speed and put the mirror image over. I definitely thought we were going to see what Randy was talking about with that Shaper Magic, because he could have just targeted the mirror image and saved his Infernander. But I think it kind of worked out just a little bit better in his favor. So, what do we got here? Another face down. So both. Yeah, when I seen the Vortnail getting eaten by the Rapture, gaining that VP, or sorry, gaining that power back. So what do we see here? Infernander mid? Maybe? No? Okay. Okay. At least he's finally getting Illusion over there. Now, do we use the Illusion to move the Gel Ice out? I don't think so. Okay. Now, we did see Field 2 get turned off already, so we know it can't be turned off again. Same with Field 3. So Field 1 being inactive is still a big possibility here. But it is not. Speed it up. So player of initiative is going to choose, because all 4 fields... Yep, turn off the Crag, because you're definitely struggling to win that field. And it was, what was that? Even. So, trigger the debut effects. So, nothing to eat with a Rapture, but Illusion will give another -1. Okay, so how do we see this round playing out? I have no idea. Let's see. Looks like Kyle is currently winning both fields, so a counter Judge's Decree would be primo. Nope, doesn't look like it. Only doing a 2-coster here. Warder here again. So seeing the Warder again here. So he went ahead and used the Sylph Amulet. Curious. I feel like I would have saved the Sylph. Okay, yeah, there we go. That makes way more sense. Go ahead and give that Kindolf block. Yeah, I feel like Momentum Shift is the first thing you use every single round if you're Kyle. When you have that big old 8 bonus power on that Kindolf. Yeah, Sylph Amulet would have been an odd choice. This could be a real bad round for Simba. Depends on what he has. 5 cards in hand, 5 resources. Like, he can definitely make some plays happen. Momentum Shift. Although, no, I think both are gone, right? I think he resourced one and one got discarded earlier. Skyer? There we go. So, Rapture back to bench. So, and the second Alistair's Guide here. Yeah, no reason to support the Alistair's Guide now, because the best value is getting stuff in field 1, and it's already pretty locked down. I mean, not like super locked down, but like in a very good position. I think, yeah, Kyle probably doesn't want to split in this situation because he is behind 8 to 14. Yeah, so it's a 6. Going into, oh, this is the final round. Yeah, he has to win both. Yeah, a drill attack. I don't know if you want a drill attack just yet though. Probably hold off on the drill attack. Oh, he's not playing tactics. Never mind. Simba's the one playing tactics. All right. Ignition gets a +1, and Rapture will get a +1. I mean, Simba only has 6 power there. Oh, he's moving the warder over. Okay, okay. Fair enough. He has 14 to 9 there in that field 3. The Kindolf is so strong. And now he's winning both fields. He's got 2 resources left. Winning both fields, though. Simba's got 2. Simba just needs to win 1. Win 1 field. Go all in. Man, if he could hit that Kindolf twice, I don't know. That's a big ask, though. He did just play that Alistair's Guide. He dug 4. Samuel, welcome to the chat. Oh, snap, I had my time zones wrong. Didn't realize this was rolling. Oh, no. Well, glad you're here. This is still game 1. This is roughly the end of game 1. We are in round 4. Double Shaper Magic? Or, yeah, that would be kind of amusing. I think definitely Simba plays it slow here. Let Kyle make all of his moves. And then, like, swoop in with something. I think you go on field 2. Just because it's only a 1-point difference. Alright, Simba's got to make some sort of move. Just use those 1-costers. Play a lucky hat, you know. A hidden power would be huge here. Yep. If it's being run. Okay. Fury Potion. Does he do it on the Skyer? The Skyer would be the better play, I would say. Because you're only losing that field by 1 point right now versus the 5 that you're losing on field 3. And if you could move his Infernander to field 2, like, that'd be great. Drill attack right now, move the Infernander over. Going for the mirror image. It's yeah, 14 to 14 there. So tied in field 3. Six, 7. I feel like Simba's doing some, like, spreading himself thin, not realizing that we're final round and he only needs to win a single field to win the round or win the game. So he's spreading himself a little too thin right now, I think. What does Kyle do now? He doesn't need a ton. 2 1-costers, split them up, I guess. Oh, Fury Potion for a Fury Potion. Curious, does he use the support to kill the Ignition to give the Kindolf the +2? Put the +5 on the Warder? That hand keeps hovering over the Ignition though, so I'm thinking, I'm not sure. That would allow him to take both fields. No, he's giving it to the Ignition. Okay, he's doing it like that. So he's going to pop the Warder instead to get +4. I guess it equals to the same. Funny enough. Right, because it would have been 10 on the Warder there, and then he would have popped with the Fury Potion and gave +2 to the Kindolf. I don't feel like that's right, though. Why does Ignition have 8? Should Ignition have +7 power instead of +8? There we go. All right, let's see what's that last resource for Simba here. Reset spell, hit that Ignition. Drill attack, bounce Ignition to hand, move Infernander to mid. I mean, there's lots of different things. Several different cards that could be played. verifying that you don't have to go to 20. If 4 rounds happen and you're not at 20, the game will still end if a player is ahead. So, last resource. There it is. Drill attack. Yep. Return an ally from any field to its owner's hand. Doesn't have to be friendly. And then you may move or deploy a friendly familiar. So, bounce the Ignice in the hand, move the Infernander over, and now you're absolutely crushing field 2. I think the Fury Potion on the mirror image is what confused me most. Yep. Splitting fields again. So Simba will take... Yep, Simba takes game 1 there. Pretty good. Pretty good. So, resetting. All right, so now that we've seen game 1, how do we think this is going to go? So again, seeing that Infernander being able to go first into the Roost, pretty solid. The only issue is if Kyle puts the Kindolf there to match it, he won't be able to trigger that Kindolf or that Infernander a second time without having to drop the Illusion there as well. But that said, if you drop both Infernander and Illusion into that middle field, you really lock down that Kindolf. Like, you're going to give it -1 at minimum, and then if both debuts trigger on your Infernander and your Illusion, you're going to give it another -1 and another plus power on your Infernander. Like, it really sets you up for future rounds after that. But it is a very much an all eggs in one basket sort of situation. And if you don't have a ton of movement, then it can be a little bit risky. Looks like Kyle is currently sideboarding, so. Apparently, Simba had passed on adding a hat. Oh, he picked the drill attack up off of the Alistair's Guide search. Yep. It was a good call. It definitely won him the game. Without it, I don't think he could have done it. And maybe a reset, not a reset spell, a Shaper Magic to hit the Ignition. Could have also done it. Do we see... I'm curious of what we see this round for fields kicked. Do they go the route that I suspected the first time around? Kick both ranches? Or, no, kick one ranch and then kick Crag. Because, yeah, Crag, when your opponent has Illusion available and you don't have anything like that besides just the Sylph Amulet, Now, if you open a Sylph Amulet, maybe that changes things. Oh, he put in a Sumner Peaks. Okay, from his side deck. So yeah, when you win this field, give a friendly ally +3. So if this ends up in like field 1 and you win it, you can then give 3 to one of your other allies in a different field potentially, and then now win that field out of nowhere. So if Sumner Peak end up in field 3 though, that's a bummer, because then you're not going to be able to do those tricks. And it's 50-50 shot, because the Roost is guaranteed to be in field 2. So you're not guaranteed to... You don't have the odds in your favor to see it in field 1 or 2. I'm curious of Kyle's thought process on Sumner Peak here. Maybe he doesn't want to have to fight over like he can just like forget it, like put it in a field and don't worry about scoring it, and then just focus on the other 2 fields and just keep scoring those 2, because he is might ferocity here. Giving up a 2 VP field to win a 4 VP field just makes sense. Resolving mulligans. Okay, yep, getting rid of the ranch makes sense. Like I said in my initial thought, if you're gonna lose that field, if it's against might ferocity, you're gonna lose it by a lot. Looks like Kyle is gonna mulligan and Simba is gonna keep. I wonder what Simba has in hand that he would want to keep it. Maybe seeing a momentum shift. Oh, Sumner in field 1. There we go. 50-50 shot, but it kind of came out ahead. But if that could be counterintuitive to his tactics, though. If he lets field 1 get scored without a fight, it could cost him field 2 or 3 if there's an ally. Then we do see the Sylph Amulet. That was a good mulligan. What has Simba got here? He kept that hand, so I would imagine he has a support that's pretty decent. Hat's pretty solid. Drawing a card, always. Yeah, that's going to be, potentially 4 extra cards this game. Yep, and Fernandez in the Roost, yep. At minimum, you want to at least do that. Playing the Illusion there is still questionable. Yep. And man, I don't know. I feel like I'd be greedy. I would go for it. I would do it. Nope. All right. Yep. Nice little spread here. And now what do we see from the judges deck? We do have at least the lowest scoring field, so a slow it down or speed it up does kind of matter this time. Oh, okay. Going for the counterplay here. What do we got? Oh, field 3. Oh, that last second Rapture move. And it's an even. So, trigger the debut effects. See, that illusion there with the Infernator would have been so strong this round. Like I said, though, it is a gamble. If field 2 had been turned off, been a little rough. Alright. How are they going to start this off? What are the first plays of the round? Oh my gosh. He opened double hats. Okay, I see why he kept that hand now. What's he drop? Is he? Do you think he drops a 3? Ooh, Sparrow. Right off the bat. Oof. Oh my gosh, that's pretty good. What do you do? Do you use Sylph Amulet? Probably not. I mean, you're winning both fields. Your opponent has to, like, pick and choose kind of situation. I don't know. You might move the Rapture over just to kind of solidify that field too. But potentially losing that Summer Peak if he drops an ally in that field too. Especially a 3 cost one because of the Lucky Hat. Yeah, it's probably best to keep your stuff spread in this situation. Oh, he's going with the whistle. He lost both those whistles in the first game, so getting to see them now. All right, so what do we see off this whistle? This could be really good. Like, he could win both fields off of this. Look at the top 5. Play up to 2 allies with a combined 6 power to any field. Like, he only needs a 2 power swing for field 1, and then get that other one over into field 2. Like, you know you're playing against Might Ferocity, so you gotta be kind of careful because the strength trainings out of nowhere could really mess you up. Like a Crocient, like something, I don't know, a 4 power ally and then a Crocient, so like then you would get the VP. I don't know, forcing your opponent to like power up the Rapture with his strength training and not use it on the Kindolf though, pretty good. If you play a 3 power creature in field 1, then even a strength training isn't enough. Just no telling what he's got here. I don't have deck lists, which is a bummer. The last tournament we had deck lists, so I could see the potential that could be hit. This time, though, it's all blind. All blind guesses. He could hit an Adult to hit that Sparrow. And then that opens him up for a pretty powerful secondary ally. Because that Adult's only 1, so he could drop a 5. All on the Sparrow? Worth. I think that's what he did the first game, too, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if he has Turpion, though. Like, Adult Turpion is definitely, like, the play, right? But I don't know if he has Turpion. There's the Adult. Oh, it's so good. Oh, gel ice. Okay. Okay. Yep. Yeah. Sparrow goes. He's now winning field 2. He's also winning field 1, so he can then juice up that auto if he wants. I don't know if you do, though. Does it have to be? Yeah, give a friendly ally. He could give the gel ice the +3. The only reason I say that because the auto's a 1-coster, and that Rapture is just waiting to eat that poor little auto next round. So giving that +3, not too great. But it also depends on if Kyle plays anything to need to juice that auto. If he uses a shrink training on the Kendolph, then he would have to. Well, he doesn't have to, but it'd be in his favor to give the auto that +3. But he doesn't have to make that decision until scoring. Now, Gel Ice has speed, but he played the Whistle, so the Whistle does not have speed. Alright, what does Kyle got? Strength training? Pretty good right now. Oh, he's passing. Oof. Yep. Yeah, so Simba just gets to take both fields. Yeah, and give Gel Ice the power. Yeah, Kyle saying Whistle is super broken. Oh, he put it on the Otter. I mean, does he not realize Rapture is just going to eat it? He doesn't win both. But yeah, Kyle saying Whistle is super broken. I don't think he's played Whistle enough to see the negatives. You know how many times I played a Whistle? Like, used a Lucky Hat, played a Whistle, and all I got was a 1-cost ally. It's happened way more than it should have. It's a gamble for sure. It's a big gamble card. Ooh, a second Self Amulet. All right, double Self Amulet and then no resource from Simba here. So yeah, Rapture comes down and eats the auto. And it was a weird choice putting that power on auto. I guess forcing the Rapture to middle. Maybe that was the idea. When Whistle was any 2 creatures and there was no limit on power. Oh my gosh. Yep, Infernander just wins that one outright. Yeah, you can't go to field 2 with it. I mean, he could have played that illusion first, hit the Rapture, and then Infernander. Yeah, I think illusion mid. Get rid of that +1 off the Rapture. Never mind. What do I know? What do I know? Because remember, when your familiars go back to the bench, they lose any negative power that they have. So making the Kindolf go down to -1, not as strong as getting rid of the +1 off the Rapture, because, you know, that would stay the same. But he is winning 2 fields, so. Alright, what are we going to see? Field 1. And it's an even. Trigger the debut effects. Doesn't matter. Again, Allusion mid right now would have been really strong. Where does he go with this? I thought he was about to play to field 1. I was like, he realized that's inactive, right? Just going. Ooh. Ignition does not feel great because it just loses the -1 off the Kindolf. Poor Ignition. You really need like some combos with him to get like, a little bit more value, I feel like. Oh my gosh, another Alisher's Guide. He's really playing those Alisher's Guides this whole match. Yeah, with Ignition though, like leaving it on board is just like meh. If you can use the Fury Potion, either the support or the playability, to get rid of it, get some more value. At least open it up for a second Ignition potentially. You could eat it with your Rapture, I guess, but it's still a -1 loss in total in that field. Ignition is just a very simple card. I do like Ignition though, just by himself though. If you're playing with the Glaciafly, like just another card to boost up the Glaciafly. Oh, Enchanted Draft. Here we go. What are we gonna see? There's 1 creature and a support. So he gets a VP and 1 power. So you can give the power to the Kindolf. Get that bonus and draw. And then you've got your Sylph Amulet. You can move the Kindolf to middle field. That's a interesting choice. It does have 2 Sylph Amulets, so he could definitely do this shimmy sort of shenanigans here. I think I would have still done the Kindolf first though, just because then you get to react to what your opponent does. Maybe moving the Rapture isn't a good idea, right? Your opponent has 2 resources. They can very easily play something. Alright, Simba, what do you got for us? You got 2 resources. You've already played a Lucky Hat, so... Oh, he's played both Lucky Hats, right? He supported 1 and then played 1. So looking at that field 1... I'm sure he's expecting Kindolf to get moved to middle field, right? So then he knows he's going to win field 1. So if he drops, say, a weaker ally in field 3, he could swing it. Ooh, nice. And we finally see the momentum shift being played here. So steals the plus power off the Rapture and then forces it to the bench. So even more of a reason he should have moved the Kindle first instead of the Rapture. He does have speed, so it's still his play here. He has no resources. Debating the inspiration. Move Gel Ice to middle. Oh, no, 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 no. You move Gel Ice to middle, and then if he moves Kindolf over, then you give the +3 power to the Gel Ice and tie with the Kindolf. I just Sumner Peaks is just one of those fields that it's like you really got to get some reps in with it to see the combo potential that's available to you. Because yeah, until I really started playing with it, I didn't really see the overall value that it can bring. But yeah, if he had moved Gel Ice instead of the Illusion, it would have been way better. Yeah, absolutely move Kindolf to the middle field. And you don't even have to use your inspiration on it. You have your Sylph Amulet. You just need to play a 1-cost card and save your inspiration for later. You can hear it in Kyle's voice, though. He's super irritated at that whistle play. That whistle play was pretty gnarly. But overall, that like when you really think about that whistle play, it wasn't even like super like crazy. It basically was a just netted him essentially a single draw, if you want to think about it in a way. Like the Gel Ice was 2 cost, the Adult was 1 cost. The Gel Ice has speed. He could have played the Gel Ice and then immediately played the Adult if they had been in hand, right? So the only other benefit besides it, of course, being a like an additional card is that it's you get to reveal 5. So you get to pick between 5 different cards versus the cards that are in your hand. And you could whiff. Like the possibility of not hitting anything off of that whistle is huge. Or hitting 2 1-costers is not the best. Oh, he's using the inspiration. Why go for a field? What? Why go for that field? You're losing that field so bad. What do you do? What are you doing? What could he play right now? What? Oh my gosh. And he's moving the Bison to the middle. Like, why did you use your inspiration on the Kindolf? Why'd you burn your inspiration for nothing? This is some weird plays. I think he's kind of just in his own head now. I mean, a strength training would be great. No, no strength training. So yeah, Ignicing gets KO'd technically before you go on to field 3. So it's after that field is scored that the ally is in. So you're going to resolve the rest of the Fury Potion. So discard a random card from your hand, then draw a card. This is really important because if you trigger this, like with the Infernander, right, if it had been reversed and say the Gel Ice had died, you could trigger the Infernander to give the negative power before you actually get to scoring the Infernander's field. Alright, and then we're back resetting into the third round here. Now, Rapture. Also, Rapture only KOs 1-cost allies. Alright, we see 2 face downs here. Simba not wanting to put any more resources up. That one Sparrow, like, got him shaking in his boots here. Yeah, Infernander to field 2. Why waste a good thing, right? Yep. Because now he's at 9, so even if Kindolf goes to mid, he can't. Yep. So now he's, yeah, Infernander's in a great spot. Ooh. Where does the Owl go? You go hit Kindolf for free? Because right now you're tied in field 1. You're not winning field 1, so there's no harm in go Owl Illusion, field 1, hit Kindolf. Start winning field 1. I know it's only a 2 VP field, but depending on what's in Simba's hand, he's got 9 cards. Like, he should be able to drop an ally into field 2 or 3. It's a Illusion's 3. Like, putting Illusion in a field expecting him to just like win a field by himself is unreasonable. It just doesn't have that same impact that other familiars have. So you gotta like make plays and stuff like that. Ooh, field 2. Yikes. And it's an odd card, so just discarding. Oh, no Infernander debut effect. Ditching a Fury Potion. Do we see a... Did he play the... Did I miss it? Did he play the fanfare card there? Yeah, the crowd roar? I don't remember him playing that. I mean, Kyle's in a good position here. The double Sylph Amulets and both his familiars are already in good fields. This is round 3. I don't expect a judge's decree this round. Dropping the snail here, okay. Protecting the gel ice, interesting. I mean, no point in protecting the Infernator, really, if it's in an inactive field, so... It doesn't have speed, so he is still on the play here. He is currently now winning both fields, also important. Oh, there's the judge's decree. There's the judge's decree. Yep. Kyle says he scoops. Judge's decree, instant. It was a 6, 11, 17, 17 to 5. Even if Kyle was to win all fields next round, it wouldn't be enough. It would put him to 15. Yeah, that judge's decree. Absolutely brutal. All right. Well, that is it for the semifinals. Now we're going on to the finals next week. So stay tuned for that. We'll make an announcement, of course, as always, of when that's going to be. And we are on Central Standard Time. So, Sam, just keep that in mind for next time. All right. Hope you all enjoyed this, and we will see you next week for the finals.